Right. And yeah, that was my next question. So yeah, tell us about your mental health story. I know it's a very
Yeah,
unique one.
yeah. So
Yeah.
when I was in seventh grade, I started dealing with mental health issues. It was like the first time I had remember like wanting to kill myself. And it was like it's like still I don't understand. It's like why? I mean, I understand in a sense, but it's like I was playing basketball, had good friends, had a good family, was going to a good school. It wasn't like my family was struggling. We weren't rich by any means, but we weren't struggling.
Yeah.
Um, but it's just one of those things. I was just dealing with depression and I had no idea. And mental health back then wasn't really talked about. This was probably 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago. And we've come a long way. But then as I've got older, things got worse, started self harming, still not really knowing what was going through. And it took until, um, 2015 2015, my first summer at Ball State, where we really figured out what I was going through. We had a counselor come in and give all the athletes like a little questionnaire, and I had I'd answered truthfully and had asked some like mental health questions, but I had answered truthfully, and it was one of those things that I didn't think anything would come about, but she came back that next week and started meeting with me. So that was my first time experiencing counseling. So we had met, every day, not every day, once a week for a year. And then that same, time span, she had kind of convinced me to go see a doctor. And then from there, I was diagnosed as having severe depression. And so, you know, at that point, I was like, dang, like I didn't even know I had dealt with all of this stuff and, truly didn't understand what I was going through. But it was just one of those things where, you kind of know now that if I had known the signs back then I'd, would be in a kind of a better place now. But, um, that's kind of that half of the story. And then I, try to take my life as well. And so, I had Zach Hollywood, who was one of my best friends and teammates. So after I tried to take my life, I kind of remember him being like, you can always call me, like, why didn't you call me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, and then when on the 21st of 2017 was my birthday, August 21st. I had all my friends and stuff over, and then he had said goodbye, like one ish, gave me a hug, said bye, I love you. And I knew that he had been dealing through with some things, and he looked the happiest that I'd ever seen him that night. So I thought things were kind of changing. And then that next day he took his life. I We had a team meeting and I hadn't heard from him, and then I went to his apartment to check on him, and he had took his life. And so I've always said, it's the toughest thing I've ever been through, but, I'm kind of glad it was me and no one else, because I knew what I had dealt with for, I still deal with now. It's been tough, but, it happens. But, since then I've done a lot of public speaking, talking to teams, trying to advocate for mental health, be there for people. I won the 2020 NCAA Inspiration Award.
Yeah.
I got to talk to the community of Chicago with the Community Foundation at the All Star Game last year, or in 2020, right before the pandemic hit. So it's just been one of those things where, um, you know, I've tried to use tragedy as a way to help others, where I could very well use tragedy as a way to kind of hide from the world.